What's up, Foundation? What's up, Foundation? What's up, Foundation? Man, it's me, your big partner, Tony. Man, God been working on me, man, since I was born. And don't forget, man. I represent Jesus Christ. What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Tony. Man, I'm back again. Hold on, back again. Okay, that's a little bit better. You can tell from the title what this video is about. In the last few days, LA been on fire, y'all. LA been on fire. And as everybody knows in the headlines of what's going on in LA, that Big U, music executive, a member of the Rolling 60s, he lost his son. Man. I don't want to be premature and say he was lost to gang violence, or I don't know, but that's what everybody suspects. He was lost to gang violence in LA. Who did it? I don't know. Not finna get into it. Not my business. I don't know who did it, man. But that's tragic, homie. You know what I'm saying? That's messed up. It's messed up. And you know, I just like to start this video out with saying, you know what I'm saying, rest in peace to his son, baby Huey. You know, he lost his life in the streets of LA, man. But now you got a whole lot of kids, man, losing their lives in the streets of Los Angeles to the same thing, the same way. You know what I'm saying? You know, before it happened, probably the same day it happened. And of course, we know people lost their lives after it happened. And it's a continuing cycle, man. It's a continuing cycle that goes on and on and on and on in the streets of South Central LA, man. You know what I'm saying? And it seemed like, when is it going to stop? Or will it ever stop? You know what I'm saying? Gang violence, you know. This my street. That's they street. Those are they streets. And we don't own none of them streets, y'all. We don't own. At the end of the day, them white folks can come in with them bulldozers and them tractors and knock down every house on whatever street we say we from, and turn it into a parking lot, a superstore, a Walmart, whatever they want to turn it into. And we ain't gonna do nothing. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. Gonna get out the way. You're gonna be relocated to a whole nother area like they've done already in certain parts of LA. And that's that. Your street that you done gave your whole life up for is gone. It's gone. So, you know, I find it sad, even though I gave many years of my life to that life, many years. You know, I'm 61 years old, and I gave many, many years of my life to that same mentality, to that same, you know what I'm saying? I participated, y'all. I participated. And it took me all this time to realize that I was participating in something that was genocide to my race, genocide to my people. You know? And so, you know, here it is, you know, Big U lost his son to them streets, man. It's messed up. I didn't really know Big U like that. We've had interactions in the past. Stop it. Get off that shirt. Excuse me, y'all. Them little dogs, something else. We've had interactions in the past. I did videos about it. The interactions back then weren't good. But you know what I'm saying? Being in that LA gang lifestyle, you know, being in that gang LA lifestyle, you know. My kids, man. My kids, oh man. My youngest son, he was born like right after I got locked up on this last trip, and his mama immediately took him and moved him out of LA. She moved to Texas. Then from there, they moved to other places because she didn't want him to come up like me. She didn't want him to run the streets that I ran. She didn't want him to be a part of the life that I was a part of. So she moved him. And I was mad about that at first. I was mad. The hat's sitting up on top of my head, y'all, because it's too small, and I got these dreads. So I just set it up there, I'm not a Dodgers fan. I'm an Oakland A's fan. But go Dodger Blue, you know what I'm saying? I'm still from LA. But anyway, the process is going to continue, man, until we get like a lot of the OG homies, the big homies, whatever, term you want to put on them, to step in and say enough is enough. Until the powers that be step in and say enough is enough, it's going to continue. And I already know that's an uphill battle. And the reason why I know it's an uphill battle, because at one time I was one of them OGs. And it's hard to tell your little homies, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, and expect them to do it, because when they'll look at you in your face and they'll be like, all right, big homie, whether they Crip or Blood. All right, big homie. But when they leave away, they in them streets doing whatever, whenever, wherever, to whoever. And I know this because when I was young, I did the same thing. We be at the meeting and big homies would say, hey man, look, we ain't finna do this, we ain't finna do that. This is what we gonna do. And we'd be like, yeah, all right, okay. And no sooner we left, man, we tripping on what they talk about, homie. Man, let's go bust. And that's the same type of mentality they have today. Even worse today, youngsters don't respect their OGs no more. They don't. So it's a catch-22 situation, y'all. You danged if you do and you danged if you don't. What can you do? But yeah, my daughter, man, my daughter, she's L7 square, man, just sweet as pie. She called me today. I was driving and she was like, Daddy, did you hear about Big U's son getting killed? And I said, yeah, baby, it's all over the internet. She was like, man. Then she going off what she see on the internet. They saying the Hoovers did it. Woo. And I told her, I said, baby, don't nobody really know who did that yet. You know what I'm saying? They might find out later on down the line, but nobody really knows. People gonna say stuff and this, that, and other, based on where it happened at. So people just speculate, And she was like, man, they finna go to war, huh? And I thought about it. I said, baby, gangs in LA have been at war since the 70s. This is not nothing unique that just started. No. Gangs in LA have been unaliving each other way before then, even before the 70s, when they had the OG old gangs, in the 50s and 60s. It's just you see it, it's publicized more because you see it on social media. But this has been going on for decades upon decades upon decades, She was like, oh, I thought they just went to war. No, baby. I said, they've been at it for years, just like everybody else been at it for years, I know a lot of people chiming in on it. I know a lot of people, what I'm saying, they got something to say. So I ain't trying to, snatch no limelight from nobody. I just want, put my, my few little cents in on it and just try to see, to make it make sense to the youth, man. That's why I tell y'all, homie, stop now. Stop. Stop now. Because when them folks get their hands on you, and I'm talking about the powers that be that lock you up, they're not going to play with you. Your whole life is going to be over. You will sit behind bars, eating soups and cookies and drinking prison whiskey for the next 40, 50 years. Eventually, you're going to be forgot about. Mom and daddy grow old and pass away. sisters and brothers grow up and have to go off and live their own life. If you had kids before you went in there, they're going to get old. You won't be there when your grandkids are born. You won't be there to play with your grandkids. None of that. And I keep telling y'all, behind what? Behind the streets you don't even own. I wish I would have woke up sooner. But man, I'm gonna stop it right there, y'all. Please. You ain't gotta listen to me, man, if you don't want to. If I just reach one of y'all, if I can just reach one of y'all, I did my job. Hey, man. Rest in peace to baby you, man. Big you, son. In the meantime, between time, man, tell the people you love them. And don't forget, I'm your big partner, Tony, y'all. I represent Jesus Christ. I'm out.